Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm, of course, Nancy Joy. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have been clicking on it, right? Anyhow, I'm excited to talk about today's subject. In a reading last week on Tuesday, which was Solstice, Ezekiel shared with us this, and it took me to a great place, and I'm very excited to share it with you because, we all talk about duality and polarity, and I wanted to explain the difference and how that's going to translate as we move through this shift and into a new place of understanding, a new, like I call it, a new reality. As you shift into the higher, this is what Ezekiel said, as you shift into the higher frequency and begin to stabilize in the new reality, so to speak, you will discover a place where duality and polarity are no longer pulling away from each other, but instead you'll discover that they are actually attracting each other to create rather than destroy. Talk about opposites attracting. This will be phenomenal, and you can already see signs of it everywhere. Be conscious, enjoy the ride, hang on. That's what he said. So afterwards, I jotted the notes down during the session, and I thought to myself, well, okay, we throw around duality and polarity all the time. Well, as I asked him further, and it made sense to me thinking about it, polarity always refers to the negative and the positive pole, which is in everything. It's in the earth, it's within us, it's within any kind of energy of creation is a negative and positive pole. Makes sense, kind of holds things together there. Duality is the dualistic nature that reflects the negative and positive in everything. It's right, it's wrong. We've talked about this before. It's right, it's wrong, it's good, it's bad, it's light, it's dark, and on and on. It's the dualistic nature of creation is built right into the very fact that energetically and in every way, in sacred geometry, in physics, there are negative and positive vibrations. So what he said that we're going to find as we shift through and are already seeing, that instead of, I always say it's integration, bringing duality together, but I like even the way he put it better. What's happening and what's going to happen more and more until it becomes the overall writing pattern is that the negative and positive pole, the good and the bad, the right and the wrong, whatever, are going to be pulling together to create integration and equality and balance in all things. Right now what we have is an energy formed by our patterns and what's going on with humanity for these thousands of years that pull us apart all the time. It's always about pulling us apart. And he gave the example of a battery. A battery is a negative and a positive pole, which really do nothing. But when you put a charge to them, then it lights up the negative and positive pole. They seek each other in the middle, and they create energy with which to turn on a light, whatever. Well, for us, it's creating energy with which to create a new template, a new reality. And I suppose this is a concept we may have known, but what I got so excited about was that we need to start looking right now in our lives and all around us at all the opportunities we have every moment and every day and all the time to take the dualistic nature we're experiencing, the polarity of the negative and positive, and consciously be aware of how we can bring them together to create a new template. And I thought of first an example in relationship, and I'll use my husband Mark and I as an example. When we are conscious and in a good place with when we arrive at duality and disagreement, and I see it this way, you see it that way. When we're in a good place, we're able to take a distance from one another, and we're able then to think about and process and bring in all the gifts both have. What his perception is and the gifts he has and what brings that to the table. gifts I have, perception I have, what brings that to the table. And then when we're in a good place and a clear place, we can come together. And what we have found is that when we are willing to take that step, we create awesome new realities. We recently just did one the other day, really excited about. It could have ended up going back into an old pattern of whizzing in our own little spaces and not agreeing. And like I said last week, the blame game, it's sort of a continuation, isn't it, of the blame game. Then I looked at the world, and I saw that where you have people coming together to make a situation better, each playing the role of what they do best, miracles happen. The aftermath of some of our horrendous tornadoes here in the United States, or the tsunami, or the nuclear disaster, where you have people coming together with their skills and their abilities and putting them all together to work in creating the new. This is what's happening. This is the value even of all the earth changes. It's one of the values, we're waking up, we're learning how to do this. And then I thought about how you do it inside yourself. There are days when the little devil and the little angel are quacking away in your head. We all have them, however we perceive them, where we're arguing with ourselves. We're arguing with what we feel. Our brain's arguing with our feelings. Our feelings are arguing with our brain. And wow, they're both so necessary. And to stop in that moment and say, okay, this is the brain's ability and this is what it perceives. This is the feeling's ability. This is what that perceives. Now together, let's create in our heart a new inner understanding, a new place that feels comfortable for us. And since I latched on to this yesterday, I've been trying that in 3 or 4 times with great success. So I'm all pumped up about this. Because it feels like a huge understanding. We've always thought in said words, at least I have, like we're moving out of duality into unity consciousness. Not really. We're transforming polarity and duality into unity consciousness. Same old thing we get into about the ego. We're moving out of the ego. We're going to create. We're not moving out of the ego. We're going to use the ego and the other gifts we have to create something much better. And in that, there is such excitement of creation because we can do it on any level. We've all wanted our Congress and our government, Democrats and Republicans, to sit down and bring the best of both together to create something new. To this date, it's pretty much absolutely a refusal. But that's falling apart because nothing's happening. And what we're actually, as I looked at it, we're observing that the far right, super conservative, let's say, libertarian Republicans, Ron Paul, for example, come all the way around to meet the super out on a limb liberals to create something in comm school, in physics, and the flower of life. Everything's based on creating through the circle, through the unity, through the oneness. So a new way to look at things this week. I hope you'll find some examples in your own life and start looking at the world and where you see Muslim, Christian, let's say, instead of going into judgment, see the beauty of both. They both believe in the same tenets. They both are wonderful people. Both religious and spiritual belief systems come so from the heart. When you get the dogma and the energy of destructive duality out of the picture. So pretty exciting time to be conscious through and to be moving through with consciousness. So that's great. Have a great week, and next weekend's the 4th of July, so it'll be fun to share then. I want to bring up the wonderful 8 guided journeys that Ezekiel and I did a long time ago, back in the 90s. They're available now for download on my website, www.heartlights.net, and they take you progressively deeper. They start by introducing you to your heart, to your guides, to problem solving, to using that energy in nature, to your nature guides, to your cells, to shifting your patterns, and then finally to freedom. They're an awesome set. Check it out. Only $19.99 for all 8 of them. You have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.